day, 6'5", tattooed in Piers, Mark Whistler is a marketing manager. And he's also, at the moment, on...
SAS Who Dares Wins.
SAS Who Dares Wins, being put through his paces by Ant Middleton and the guys, and doing a great job. But by night... and his father was in the SAS for real. But at night, Mark is a drag queen. His alter ego is Cybil War.
In honour of his dad, who is a former SAS officer, Mark has signed up to the new series of SAS Who Dares Wins. We see him in drag here in the studio.
Can you stand up in all your glory, Mark? Because it's a real...
How tall? Oh, my days.
I thought I'd show you what real hot pants are.
Yeah, exactly. Can we just, there's a, you know, just...
Can we see the shoe? Can we see the shoe?
And contrast. You are twice my height.
I'm 7 foot right now.
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Shall we have a little
Let's take a look at you in the show, because it'll give people an idea of what you've been put through. Quite amazing. And I was watching that episode, and then I read a big interview with you and your family, and it really struck me, this story, because I guess you wouldn't expect an SAS hero like your dad to have a son, and I say this with great respect, who'd end up being a drag queen, but then with a twist of also wanting to compete in a show to be an SAS type soldier.
Did you do that in tribute to your dad?
I did a little bit, yeah. Like, the SAS has always been something that's been part of my family for my entire life. But it's so secretive.
Yes.
And, like, my dad just went to work. That's how I always saw it. And you knew that he was in the SAS, but you didn't really know what that meant. And I've been a huge fan of the show since the first series. And last year I was just sat at home and was like, you know what? I'll give it a go.
Let's go back. Two questions with you and your father. One is, when you told your dad you wanted to be, or he found out you wanted to be a drag queen, I mean, tell us how he actually found out.
So I lived in New York for 2 years, and that's where I really started experimenting with drag.
When you were
properly.
how old are you now?
I'm 31 now.
OK, so back then was how long ago?
That was 6 years, coming up to 6 years ago.
And had you come out by then to your parents?
I had, yeah. I came out when I was 18.
And how was that?
That went surprisingly well. My dad is ever the stoic kind of army colonel, and yeah, I had to get him to turn the TV off so I could have a serious chat with him. And then yeah, I'd spent about an hour in my bedroom walking around, going, "Dad, I'm gay. Dad, I'm gay." Trying to find that perfect kind of
what pitch did you go for in the end?
Probably, "Dad, I'm gay!"
But you weren't wearing drag at the time.
I wasn't wearing drag at the
That wasn't something
time.
that you'd got into.
But being gay is one thing for your dad to, or your parents to deal with. Being a 7-foot drag queen, dressed like this, it's not something most SAS guys probably come across very often. So when he discovered that side of your life, how did he respond?
I think his immediate response was, well, I like Dame Edna. So that was about as much as it was.
But he was very tolerant and respectful and welcoming. That's what struck me about the interview you gave, and that's why I wanted to get you on today, because I think it's a great story that many people who've had to come out to their parents, or indeed been drag queens, it's not easy sometimes with parents. Many people have run into real trouble. You didn't, and with probably, I would argue, an unlikely person, in the sense your dad probably wouldn't be someone that you might automatically think would be that, automatically accepting.
Completely. He's, as I mentioned, he's very kind of stoic. He keeps his emotions quite subdued. So I didn't really have a gauge of how he was going to take it.
Does he come and watch you do drag?
He's come to watch me once.
And what did he think?
I think he would, to begin with, he would probably be more comfortable in a war zone than in the club that... Because an LGBTQ club at Halloween is just all sorts of costumes and nudity. So his eyes were open.
That's probably what it's like in the SAS,
well, that's very true.
They're used to seeing very difficult things in their lives.
And he saw some difficult things that night, I will guarantee you of that. But, yeah, no, I think once the show started and he saw me kind of comparing the whole show and saw Cybil in all of her glory, I think he kind of respected what it was that I was doing.
And when you then said, right, now I want to go on to this TV SAS show, which is, you know, very much his line, I guess. What was his reaction to that?
I think initially he completely ignored it and was just a bit like, oh, yeah, he's kept away from all kind of SAS-branded things for...
Does he not watch it, then?
Never watched the show, has never read any of the kind of books or anything.
Has he seen you in it?
He has now, yeah.
And what did he make of it?
He absolutely loved it. He begrudgingly admitted that it's actually a very, very good show, and he can see kind of the intensity that we go through.
Did you feel in any way that you had to prove something to your dad?
A little bit, yeah. I think this was part of the reason of going on the show was to try and get, like, just, I think, a slither of a glimpse of an insight into kind of what he went through in his long and decorated career. So I remember talking to him just before I went on when I told him that I was actually going on the show, and he was like, OK, well, just, like, whatever it is, head down and just do it, and you'll be fine.
And how have you found it? I mean, it's an extraordinary show. We love watching it, but it is brutal. I mean, the way they talk to you is, I don't think I could
That's
deal
the easiest part. When
it's physically very hard too, isn't it?
Physically, it's incredibly difficult, but we're all at a certain level of fitness on the show to even get on there. It's the stuff that you don't necessarily see where we were eating maybe 800 calories a day, and we were being interrupted, like sleep was virtually non-existent. It was the thing that I struggled with most was when we were back in the dorm, you see little clips of it, but we never knew how long we were going to be in there for.
No, so you could never relax.
You'd never relax. At any point,
has it given you a taste to really sign up?
No, not at all. Could you a beret wouldn't fit on this hair. I don't think my dad would let me, to be honest, at this point.
Listen, it takes a lot of guts to do what you do as a 7-foot drag queen, so why not? I mean...
At this stage, I think I'm too old. I think I'm too old. I've been walking around in heels for too many years. My knees have gone, my back's
All
gone.
soldiers' knees have gone.
You know what? Just like with your dad, I think some people have misconceptions about what these hard men are really going to be like. And I wonder whether you saw a different side when you met the guys who do SAS Who Dares Wins, the DS as they're known, the directing staff.
Yeah, there's when you meet the DS for the first time, it's absolutely terrifying.
But you had a favourite, didn't you?
I do have a favourite.
Yes.
They're all incredible, but I have a soft spot for Foxy.
For Jason Fox.
For Jason Fox, I do.
And while Ant Middleton is all about the hard man, Jason Fox has been much more open about his own experience, his own struggles, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the sort of the sensitive side.
It really is. Like, throughout the entire programme, Ant is really the kind of chief that you are terrified of. But the other three you get kind of glimpses of and humanity but it almost makes it worse because we coined the phrase, it's the cats asking the canaries to dinner, because any time they'd be smiling and talking to you like, we're going to pay for this.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming for us.